Iran's foreign minister spokesperson Esmaeil Baghaei says Iran and the United States have reached an understanding on a number of issues, but there were differences on 2 to 3 important matters. He said the negotiation took place after 40 days of what he described as an imposed war in an atmosphere of mistrust and suspicion.
در مورد یک سری از موضوعات ما به تفاهم‌هایی رسیدیم واقعیت، اما در مورد 2-3 موضوع مهم خب دیدگاه‌ها فاصله داشت و نهایتاً منجر به توافق نشد این گفتگوها. این آخرین وضعیت هست که من میتونم خدمتتون اعلام بکنم.
Adding that it was natural not to expect an agreement from a single meeting, Baghaei stressed that no one expected that either, and earlier said any progress depended on the seriousness and good faith of the opposing side and recognition of Iran's legitimate rights and interests.
این دور از مذاکرات بعد از 40 و چند روز 40 روز جنگ تحمیلی و بعد چند روز از آتش بس انجام شد در یک فضای مملو از نه بی‌اعتمادی، بدگمانی و سوء ظن.
Iranian state-affiliated media Fars News Agency reports that Iran is in no hurry to plan another round of talks with the United States, citing a source close to the negotiating team. It also said there would be no change regarding the Strait of Hormuz unless Washington agrees to a reasonable deal. Iranian media further suggests that U.S. demands were excessive and unreasonable, preventing a framework agreement, with disagreements reportedly linked to Iran's nuclear rights and the Strait of Hormuz. Former U.S. State Department Middle East negotiator Aaron David Miller told CNN that Iran appears to hold more cards than the United States and is in no rush to make concessions. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance confirmed that no agreement was reached after 21 hours of substantive discussions held under the Islamabad talks framework.
We have been at it now for 21 hours, and we've had a number of substantive discussions with the Iranians. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement, and I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America.
He said the sides discussed key issues but added that Iran chose not to accept Washington's terms, despite clear U.S. red lines and area of flexibility. Vance has since departed Islamabad following the conclusion of the talks.
We go back to the United States having not come to an agreement. We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could, and they have chosen not to accept our terms.
Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar said Pakistan mediated several rounds of intense and constructive negotiations over the past 24 hours. He stressed that it is imperative for all parties to uphold their commitment to ceasefire and said Pakistan would continue facilitating dialogue between Iran and the United States for durable peace and regional stability.
Several rounds of intense and constructive negotiations between the two sides that continued through the last 24 hours and ended this morning. It is imperative that the parties continue to uphold their commitment to ceasefire. Pakistan has been and will continue to play its role to facilitate engagement and dialogue between the Islamic Republic of Iran and the United States of America in the days to come.
The Australian Foreign Minister also expressed disappointment over the lack of agreement, urging both sides to return to negotiations and warning that escalation would increase human and global economic costs. Meanwhile, Israeli strikes continue in southern Lebanon as protests continue in Beirut against direct talks involving Israeli officials.